So over the past 12 years, I've tried a ton of different personal finance apps, tools, and tech, but in this video, I'm gonna save you the time and money of having to test stuff yourself. I'll share with you the best apps that I use every day to stay on top of my finances and maximize my productivity. So the first thing that I do before any day gets started is that I use a tool that's rather an OG tool. It's not an app or on any screen at all. It's actually quite analog, and it's my weekly planner right here. I make sure to look at my weekly planner and write down my biggest tasks of the day every morning, and this is just a planner that I got from a local stationery vendor when I was here at a craft fair in San Francisco. It has 50 tearaway sheets, so one sheet for each week, provided that you take a 2-week vacation every single year, and it just basically allows me to see my entire week at a glance. So this planner is on my desk at all times, and I just like to look at it the night before as well as during the day to see what my big tasks are for that day. Every day during the week, my goal is to accomplish 1 or 2 big priorities, where if that's the only thing that I got done that day, that would make it still a great day. For me, those tasks could be like writing and researching a YouTube video, making a TikTok video, or filming a brand partnership. Anything I achieve beyond the 1 to 2 big priorities for the day is just a bonus. Then once the week is over, I will literally just tear the sheet away, and I personally like to save them to look back on, but you can just dispose of them too. I think having a method in which you track your priorities for the week is quite important. So whether you do it with a notepad like this one or digitally with like a notes app, hopefully it helps keep you organized. All right, moving on. The first digital app that I use all the time to help me make more money is my spending tracker app. If you've been on my channel before and watched some of the videos, you should know that this is the app that I use literally every day. Every time I spend money, I log it into this app, I categorize the transaction, and then at the end of every month, I then go ahead and tally it all up, and then I put it into my yearly summary spreadsheet that I made. The app in particular is free, and I've just found that tracking my expenses manually is how I like to do things. So in general though, I think if you're able to just have like a system to track your own expenses, even if it's just an estimation, that's all that matters. When it comes to making more money, millionaires usually have great defense, which means that they keep their spending low. And even if you have a strong income, aka a strong offense, if you ruin it with poor defense, you just aren't going to accumulate wealth as quickly as you might want to. So that's why I think paying attention to spending has been such a big game changer for me for the past 11 years. I feel like with money, if you pay more attention to it, you naturally just start to accumulate more of it. I feel like it's an energy thing, so the more energy you put into something, the more you get out of it. And so sometimes when I track my spending, I know that it's kind of tedious, but it feels like it keeps me on track. All right, the next app I use to help me make more money is, of course, my investing brokerage app. I personally use either Fidelity or Robinhood. I used to use Vanguard, but then Robinhood had this crazy IRA match, so then I moved my IRA from Vanguard to Robinhood, and lately I've just been dollar cost averaging into the market twice per month. I personally just maintain a disciplined approach to investing, which means that I'm actively avoiding impulsively trading in these accounts. What I do instead is I set up automations that ensure that I'm contributing to my accounts regularly. I will then dollar cost average into ETFs and my other stocks I have high conviction in. If you aren't making personal finance videos like me or checking the markets all the time, you probably have no reason to check your investing apps on a daily basis. But for me, since I like to keep updated with what's going on, I like to check them daily, but still, I'm not trying to get overactive and try to time the market. Instead of timing the market, all I'm worried about is building wealth over time. And there's a really great blog post by Of Dollars and Data that says, quote, "Rather than worry about whether now is the right time to buy, just keep buying. Market high or market low, just keep buying." The point of the article is that even as the market gets more expensive, quote, "Over any 20-year period, US stocks have had no real negative returns when including dividends, and over a 30-year period, the returns have generally converged despite some dispersion." You can actually see this happening with this GIF or GIF right here, and I will link the article down below. But yeah, I think if you just stay disciplined with your investing and don't get too distracted by shiny object syndrome, you will outperform most investors. When it comes to the right investing app for you, as long as you like the interface and don't feel tempted to impulsively trade, that's all you really need. Robinhood, for example, while I really like it, it actually might make it too easy to buy and sell as well as too fun to do so. So you need to know yourself in this situation. If you're the type of person that finds trading fun and you get addicted to dopamine hits whenever you see your investing gains, perhaps you stay away from Robinhood and maybe you opt for a more boring traditional interface like from Charles Schwab or Vanguard instead. As long as you focus on contributing regularly and investing into the market, that should be good. All right, the next app that I use a lot is Google Sheets. I actually use Google Sheets quite a bit for almost everything in my life. I've used it for keeping track of my investments. I've used it for a habit tracker. I've used it as a content planner and a travel itinerary. I wanna show you guys some of the different spreadsheets that I use on a daily basis. So the first is my content tracker. This is where me and my team plan the videos we wanna make here on YouTube, but then we also track how it did. So the 24-hour as well as the 30-day statistics of every single YouTube video. We also have tabs for my Instagram and TikTok statistics, including view counts, how many followers we gain or lose, as well as engagement metrics. Next, in terms of my investments, I have a stock tracking template that I like to check daily that always is updating with the newest information because it's actually pulling stock quotes from Google Finance's API. This is just a sample one with some dummy stocks, but the idea here is that you can input the ticker symbols here on the leftmost column, and then as long as you have the right formulas, they will update the prices as well as how you're doing overall in your portfolio. Now, I particularly like it because I can track how all my investments are doing across different brokerages, and it's just all in one place. Now, you could probably do this same exact implementation with some sort of paid software or tracking app, but I personally just like using Google Sheets in particular because it's just a tab on my browser that I can click on. Lastly, another way that I use Google Sheets is my financial master sheet. So I told you guys that I track everything in my spending tracker app on my phone. At the end of every month, I will go into my financial master sheet here, and then I will just transpose all of my categories of expenses over to the sheet. Then I'm able to see a quick overview of everything I've spent that month, in addition to how much money I've made. I just manually input that on my own. Every year I make a new summary sheet, and I really like to see how my financial life has progressed over the past 7 years in Sheets alone. I think the takeaway here is that if you can keep track of how your finances are doing on a regular basis, your wealth will surely grow over time. For all these Google Sheets, I'm gonna leave a link down below for you guys if you just wanna just get them for free. Most of them are free. The one that is actually paid is the stock tracking template, so hopefully you can get that too. All right, the next app I personally use to help me make more money is an AI tool. I guess it's 2025, we have to talk about AI. It's actually called Perplexity AI. While ChatGPT is great for general purpose and everyday questions, I personally use Perplexity for tougher and harder to research topics for my videos. Their main focus is to find information across the web, and they actually cite the sources for where they get the information. And I found that I like going directly to the source whenever researching certain topics. So the best way to see the difference between the two is just to look at the same search within Perplexity versus ChatGPT. So for example, I typed in top travel credit cards in 2025, and you can see here that ChatGPT gave us some options that it searched from the web, and it used a couple sources, and it's not really bad or anything like that, but it's hardly thorough. The same search in Perplexity, not only did I get 10 options for credit cards, it actually cites the sources on each line item, meaning that you can click into the sources themselves and read more about that particular line. I also like that it has these sources at the top in case I just really want to dig in and verify that the information is actually correct, because a big problem with AI these days is that you don't really want to just always go off what it tells you. I found that ChatGPT often will give you inaccurate answers, and then you can actually correct ChatGPT and then it corrects itself. And so I just found that Perplexity so far has been a little bit more solid than ChatGPT. Personally, I will use these AI tools to help me do research on certain topics, especially if I want to get more of a supercharged search answer. This way, I believe I can create higher quality videos faster, which hopefully translates into more of you guys watching the videos, which means, hey, maybe more ads are served on my videos, and then I make more money. Let's go. But in all seriousness, it can also apply to something like investing research. It's great at aggregating data to help you make that first step in figuring out if an investment is good for you. All right. The next app here that makes me money in a very indirect way is Strava. I've been running for about a year consistently now, and I really enjoy starting my days off with some sort of movement in the morning, whether that's at the gym or on a run. I use Strava to track my runs. I joined a run club in the city that I'm in, and I'm even planning on training for my first marathon this year, so wish me luck. Now you're probably wondering, how do you make more money by using Strava? So personally, I think that having a clearer mind throughout the day, because I get my exercise done in the morning, really helps me be more productive and hopefully translates to more money. When I push through a tough workout or a run, I'm reminded that the same grit applies to building my career and managing my finances, and Strava helps me track those. Plus, I'm addicted to getting Strava kudos or likes. If you want to follow me on Strava, I'll put my handle here on the screen right now, or Ricky will do so. Thank you, Ricky. And I'm literally addicted to checking my kudos and giving kudos out, so please, I hope to see you on there. All right, the next app that helps me make a little bit more money every day is Notion. Notion is a productivity and note-taking app with really great user interface, and I use it for project management. So think of it like Excel meets Evernote, but highly customizable. I personally keep track of my content calendar and content schedule in Notion. It's also the place where all my ideas and scripts are for future YouTube videos, as well as short videos like TikToks and Instagram Reels. Surprisingly, creating content is a job in which you need to be highly organized if you want to be efficient and also make the best content possible. I use a Kanban style of workflow, which you might be familiar with, but it basically means that I divide each video or project into columns of progress. Our video projects go from ideas, and then if the ideas get greenlit, they actually start to get written. And then once they're written, then they go to the to film column. So theoretically, this video is in the to film column right now, and then it will move to editing and then review, and then it will actually get uploaded. Of course, there are a lot of steps in between, but having this visual allows me to see where certain projects are at any given time, and I find that really helpful. Notion can also help you journal, make reports, or create little habit trackers. So let's say you wanted to have a spending habit or savings goal little worksheet, you could do that in Notion. So that's Notion, and I find it really helpful. I use it almost daily. And let's talk about the next unexpected app that I use on the daily, and it's actually called the Arc browser. That's right, guys, I don't use Google Chrome. I know that's hard to believe, but the Arc's browser interface is slightly different, with tabs going along the left side of the window. And the browser itself, I think, is much faster than Chrome, and it even integrates with Chrome extensions, so I don't miss out on those either. My favorite features are the ability to basically split screen any two windows and also pin certain windows to the sidebar. There's also this sweet space or workspace feature so that you can have completely different profiles for your work or your personal or projects that you want to work on. So basically all I have to do is press Control 1, 2, or 3, and then I'm able to get to different workspaces as quickly as I can. Essentially, instead of opening up like 3 Chrome windows, I can just have one Arc browser open with 3 different workspaces and stay organized that way. Lastly, they have this tidy feature that I use regularly to clean up my tabs, which reorganizes your tabs based on categories if you ever feel like you're opening too many. I would say that the Arc browser probably saves me like 1 to 2 hours of time per week compared to Google Chrome, and these little efficiencies can add up to a lot of productivity over time, which should hopefully translate to more money as well. As the goblins in World of Warcraft say, time is money, friend.
Time is money, friend.
The next app I use daily is Discord. This is a chat app kind of like Slack, but this was created for communities primarily in the gaming space at first, but has since branched out to a couple other different niches. I use Discord to manage my private community of students, so I have a WAP group called Critical Wealth. Discord has become an essential tool for communicating with my community in there. I also share what stocks I'm invested in. I share 2 exclusive videos per month in there. And then I'm also trying to just build the tightest knit community of people interested in personal finance and investing within Discord. Discord's ability to organize different channels and have direct conversation with the members in there has made it invaluable for growing my business. I think if you have a community or content business, I think Discord can be immensely valuable for you as well. So yeah, that's Discord. I'm sure you've probably heard of it. If you'd like to check out my private community called Critical Wealth, I will leave a link for that down below as well. All right, what did you guys think of the apps today? Let me know if you had a favorite, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out another one on my channel. I'll leave a link for it right here. I appreciate you being here. I'll see you in the next one. All right, peace.